22,000 miles, a late model, very nicely kept, well-maintained little Compass just rolled in here at Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Folks purchased this locally here in Michigan. Just after, obviously, 22,000 miles, they got some use out of it very quickly. That was the whole point. They wanted a shorter RV. This was like a 23-foot model that was easier to jet set and get around. But they found that when they got there, it was just a little too claustrophobic. So they're swapping it out for a shorter 26-foot two-slide Class A that we had here, so that when they reach their destination, it's still easy to drive there, but they got a little more breathing room. Everyone's idea of what is too big, too small, and in between is subjective. So let's see if this fits your description of just right. It's kind of that mama bear, papa bear, baby bear sort of thing, isn't it? This thing might be a little small, but it doesn't really have that feel to it. I'm actually quite happy with what I've seen here. I think the combination of that like epic forehead skylight that you see up there and all the light colors, it really opens it up in here. Pardon my little jacket kind of hanging on the handrail over there. It's that weird weather where like if you wear something you sweat and then if you don't you freeze. It's just, I can't find that in between today. So what we got here is a little bit of a dynofa where that could fold down into a guest sleeper, and you can see that there's a little portable mount there for a little pedestal table to do your dining. And the whole front end of this, like all these molded pieces in this cap, they really kind of utilize the space very well. Like I like the cup holders here next to the sofa. You got a space to charge your phones. You got another one of these big USB banks back by the master bed area. Now there is a shade basically to block off that front skylight so you're not just getting baked to death in case it feels like it's getting too warm. And you'll see that here in the living area, as well as above the master bed, you've got those Maxxair fans. So if you just don't want to have to run the generator to run the centralized air the whole time, you don't have to. It's kind of nice that way. Up front here, if you're not familiar with what the Ford Transit chassis is, basically I will say it's Ford's version of a Sprinter chassis. And that's, I think, it's not exactly correct, but it's pretty much exactly correct. What I like about these, both the Transit and the Sprinter chassis, they have a deceptive amount of legroom for the people driving here. It's the first style of chassis in a motorhome, other than like a big diesel pusher on a Freightliner or something like that, like with my long legs, I'm 6 foot plus. When I sit down, I got long legs, I got long body. Most motorhomes don't fit me. I just don't have room for my knees or anything. These fit me very nicely. They've got a cool look. The other thing is they've got awesome visibility out here. It's very easy to see around what you're doing, where you're going. Heated side mirrors. That's another thing I was going to mention here. I didn't want to forget to bring that up. And, right there it is. Up top, you've got this interesting little shelf, but I knew there was a curtain for it. This is a little curtain. If you want to kind of block off the front area here so that people aren't peeking at you, you have that available to you too. This has that very Euro style marine cabinetry type style that you often find in a lot of jazzier type things, and I think it looks great. I love it because this is actually a like a micro laminated plywood. This is super strong stuff. The reason that you don't tend to see it used elsewhere is because it's also expensive, but you can see that they're using some very nice cabinet hardware on here. So it's all self-supporting, but it gives you that kind of seamless look. And there's lots of lights, plus there's plenty of indirect lights throughout this coach. This is a nice little coach. I'm sure you could find something $1 cheaper in a conventional Class C, but it's not going to have this kind of class or sophistication about it, There is also an impressive amount of storage space around this kitchen area, and as long as we're talking about the kitchen, we might as well open it all up and even pop the cover off that seamless molded edge countertop right here that water can't sneak into. Really intelligent design feature. They threw shelves in this overhead cabinet because it just doubles your storage space. It's just every little ounce, every nook and cranny helps. Neat thing over here too, it's easy to miss. That is a 3-way refrigerator. It's propane, it's 110, but it is also 12 volts. So it doesn't matter where you're at, doesn't matter what you've got, the fridge is going to work. The fridge freezer combo job's going to work there. Big stainless sink, but what's also nice, it's different, but you've got that induction cooktop over here instead of a conventional propane stove. It is very capable of getting like big pots of water up to a boil, which is something that low output 2 burners can sometimes struggle with. The other thing is being induction, especially with very limited countertop prep space here, very quickly, like very quickly, after you turn that thing off, it's pretty much cool to the touch. So if you need to, after you're done cooking, start using it as prep space, you don't have to wait that awful long. Down below, nice spot for a wastebasket, which is a feature I've seen overlooked on some smaller B pluses like this, and that, of course, is a convection microwave. Now, I'm basically standing where the sofa is, so if you're sitting at the sofa, you're staring directly at the entertainment center, which is nice because it's also angled forward a little bit so that it's not exactly wrecking your neck. You don't tend to hold your head at weird angles trying to correct for the weird, funky angle on the TV. Now, you know what? I should have opened this up over here. I didn't want to forget that, but just, no, I did open that up. I'm sorry. It's the end of the day. It's been a long week. I am tired, and I'm losing track of where I'm at. Over here. This could be anything. This could be a pantry, or it could be your closet. If I peek in here a little bit further on the left-hand side, you see how there's another interior door there? So this can be used as closet space, as pantry space, dresser space, whatever you want. It's got whatever you need, however you want it and need it. Naturally, she is completely carpetless and ventless, which makes this very easy to clean. You might notice, kind of like in front of the sofa, there's a little pedestal there. And you're like, what a weird spot for that. We're going to come back to that in a few minutes. But first, over here, our bed. If you look at it, it looks like it's partially sort of like an old inner spring style hide-a-bed, and it kind of is, because when you close the slide over here, you do have to fold it up so the bed is no longer accessible. However, when you're in bed mode, it's awesome. First of all, up top, I told you we've got another one of those Maxxair vent fans. This thing gets awesome airflow, plus all of the AC ducts, if you notice. This is a nice touch. They can be turned and closed. That's something that even our Jayco travel trailers do, but not everything does that. So that's a smart feature to point out. That is another of those deceptively big overhead cabinets. There's plenty of lighting in here. And both sides of the bed get these nice stands. Now this one has another one of those 4 USB plug hubs, but inside of the side pockets on either side of the bed, you will see that it actually has household outlets in there. So it is super CPAP friendly. 1, 2, 3, easy as pie. Thanks to those gas struts, the bed folds up out of the way so that you can close the slide for transit. But this is cool. You basically have like a second couch. You've got a lounge area back here, where if you wanted to, throw a little pillow or something behind you, although I sat on it, and the angle of that bed platform, it doesn't look comfy. It's not bad. It actually fit me pretty well. You are sitting above that extra dresser drawer storage, next to this giant breeze-through window, across from yet another downward angled entertainment center. I think that's actually a yoga position, downward angled entertainment. I need some sleep. That's not that funny, but it's cracking me up. And of course, a privacy curtain for back here. Bathroom does what it needs to. Does a good job of it. More of that sealed edge counter stuff. Another stainless sink. Angle mounted vanity in here so that you can actually stay in the bathroom if you need to comb your hair, brush your teeth, shave your face, whatever the case may be, instead of having your backside halfway out of there. And an easy step-in shower. Now notice too, that toilet's on a nice riser right there, so it does sit a little bit higher than a traditional RV toilet. I knew I'd do that. I knew I'd forget to talk about this. This has a tankless water heater system. This is an on-demand water heater. What's cool about this, as long as you have 12 volt to your RV to run it, which you pretty much always will, and propane, you've got hot water. This is also the Gen 3 variety, which has this digital output screen right here. And what this means is it allows you to actually know for sure what temperature you're setting your water at. This is also the first generation where, very much like your house, in your shower at home, you probably mix a little hot, little cold to get the water just right. This is the first tankless water heater generation that allows you to do that. One other thing, I spotted in here, and I knew I'd forget to talk about this too, but anyway, up top in here, you see that this skylight on the inside does not look fantastic. The good news is it's absolutely aces outside. The better news is the previous owners had already received a replacement for this. There's a brand new skylight replacement still in the original shipping packaging box. I was actually the person that cut the tape open on it to say, what is that thing? So, if you don't like this, don't worry about it. There's a replacement for it. Outside here on the campsite of the RV, we've got this pivot open HD TV, which is great because especially the way it swings around, you can make it face wherever you want. You see the generator and the gas grill quick connect over there, but what you don't see are awning arms. And that's actually one of the neat things on these, is that this is one of those armless style awnings, which for a person like me is a godsend, so I don't bang my head against it. But the other thing is, look at the position of that entry door. If they had to use a traditional power awning, it would have to be pathetically small because there would be nowhere on the wall to put one. So those armless awnings really help. And you see there's a storage pocket below that TV area there. Anytime you're in one of these B+ jobs, outside storage is something that is just an absolute premium. And I'm not going to tell you that it has an insane amount of storage on it, but I will say they did pretty good with what they had. The bed slide we saw in the back, obviously protected with that slide awning. You've got that skin just gleaming. This thing is not sun-kissed. The tires that are on this look fantastic. You can see the onboard propane system there. Another little handy storage pocket, and you might notice these are all ABS molded compartments. What that means in English is if you had to, I don't necessarily recommend you get too jazzy with it, but you could like basically power wash these things out because it's just a molded seamless plastic hutch effectively. Now the big compartment door is kind of covering up the little sewer hookup area, and you can see in here they had enough cargo space. They have this thing just, well, chock full of chocks, basically. I've never said that out loud in my life before, but I can't say that anymore now, can I? But the fact is, you got your little leveling blocks and chocks and everything else in there, the little Lego jobs to keep this thing flat and comfy when you reach your site. Obviously, you got the rear view camera above that big frameless window on the back. I have to double check the specs on these. We were actually going to carry the sister series to this here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, but the dealer that carries the Compass series in Michigan got a little scared, flipped their lids about it, and we were effectively told no. But I don't hold it against them. That's just business. That has nothing to do with this RV, though, so I don't even know I'm getting into it. Fact is, from the ground level, she looks good, so let's hop up top. And other than needing just a quick hose bath up here, everything looks good. Again, I mentioned on the inside how the inside of that skylight got cracked a little bit, but you can see how that was never from exterior damage. There was never an impact. So all the seals and everything look really good here. Pardon me. Which is one of the reasons why the folks never actually swapped it out, because they didn't want to peel apart factory seals. They said they were going to wait until they had to reseal stuff and then they would put it on. That's up to you how you want to handle it. Over here you see the solar prep, and I am wondering if they actually used the solar prep at one point, like if they had a panel that they disconnected and removed when they reached their destination, because they never had a fixed mounted panel. This is all virgin territory over here, but obviously they had plugged something into that little solar prep plug right there. Low profile air, one of the cool things about that is that means that the overall height of this RV is not increased as a result of the air conditioner, because actually the Maxxair vent fan cover that we saw over the bathroom is taller than this. So that is not the tallest point of the RV. It's actually slightly shorter than the Maxxair vent cover above the living area you see in front. And that just about does it, ladies and gentlemen. If you are looking for a little jet set, get up and go kind of rig, I think this is a good one. You're not paying the new RV price tag, but you're getting something pretty darn close to it, especially in model year. And that's another neat thing on this. It is young enough with credit approval. It might be able to qualify for same as new finance. Pretty darn neat. So give us a call here at Haylett RV. And short of that, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.